Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and you are watching Answering Your Financial Questions live, only a minute late. Thought it would be a little bit more than that, but I endeavored. That's an ad. I endeavored to. Okay, and what? Oh, let's kick that up a little bit. Just a hair. All right, let's try that. So I think we're good on the sound. All right, let's try that. Okay, that is better. Alrighty then. Again, answering your financial questions due to work, unable to do the after shows. Probably more than, 2 a week probably will be about normal. If that even, it may go down to even one. Just depends on the work schedule. And if you are, I am Coach Steve Money, by the way, in case you didn't know who I am. A Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And if you'd like to find my financial content, just scroll past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. There are 558 of those, and this is number 141. Did I not add 39 and 40 to this playlist? My bad. Oh, no, I didn't. I probably put it in the wrong playlist. Although I'm not seeing it in there either. Okay, I'll have to check that out afterwards. But I'll put the in the right playlist for you. So you can watch it if you're so inclined. And the music playlist that has 12, yes, 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in them, including When You're on Baby Step 2, No Spending Money to Seem Cool, Don't. When You're on Baby Step 2. Alrighty then, let's get into questions. And unlike the after show, in which I do like occasionally some news stories, talk about the market. I won't talk about the market. I didn't even bring up the tab today. But I'll talk about the market if it's a particular question. And for the questions, we either go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, Dave Ramsey subreddit, which is not run by Ramsey Solutions, or on Facebook, the Ramsey Baby Steps community group, which is run by Ramsey Solutions. That's where we get questions from, but today it is Reddit, and of course, that's why I thought it was going to take longer, because it would take a while for me to scroll through and find out where I left off. Is that it? Nope. Chicken shop owner. I don't think so. Apologies. Very, very unprofessional. Do shadow. I want to share the achievement over somewhere. Can't be telling it everyone in business. Nope. I would remember that, I think. All right. That'll be a good one. The partner one. Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum. No. So this is what happens when you don't do an after show or anything. The questions just pile up on you. And so I do have a bunch of streams planned coming up. And so hopefully won't be missing too many days. Of course, most of them will not be after shows. It will be this stream instead, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to try to keep it there. May experiment with some 4 o'clock ones, but we'll see. There we were. Did you make a mistake? Wonder what the Dave Ramsey crew thinks of where I'm at. Well, they don't work for the Reddit, and they probably didn't read this. But yes, the person did make a mistake. Bought too much house, I believe. Um, has two, I believe. Has rental properties on mortgage too. So you're doing it wrong. Let's see. How to pay roof, no savings. We did that. If you can, put it off while you save for it. Let's see. Really big day for me. Yeah, acceptable cobbler 601. Well, you might want an exceptional cobbler instead of acceptable, but I mean, if it's acceptable, it's acceptable, and maybe that cobbler charges less. Or is it a pie, you think? Acceptable, an acceptable pie, which, it doesn't have to be that great to be acceptable. Sugar. Alrighty, so really big day for me. In 1999, did you party like it was 1999? When I was 17 years old. Oh my goodness. You were a baby then. Let's see. My mother and I were living in a small apartment somewhere in Texas. I was a very angry child and gave her so many problems. That was not good of you. The worst was when I stole and crashed her car. Yeah, bad boy. Hopefully, the really big day means doing better now. She had no family in Texas. She'd come here for that specific reason so she could get sober. Oh, yeah, sometimes family are bad to be around. I destroyed her car and she was not angry. That was the worst part. She wasn't mad at all. She just sat on the sofa and cried. Um, I mean, you can angry cry. That's crying is a release of emotion. And so she might have been angry. But then she looked at me and said, "What are we going to do now? How could you do this to us?" That sounds a little bit angry to me. But anyway, I've never ever gotten over it. I'm 42 years old now, and my mom's nearly 70, but I still couldn't forget or forgive myself for what I had caused. Well, you have to do that. But you can just be a better person, especially 17. I mean, the very next birthday, you're an adult, sir or madam. Doesn't say. Either one. You're an adult at 18, so you start acting like an adult. And hopefully, since you couldn't forget or forgive it, that prompted you into being good from then on. The next decade of my mom's life and mine were unimaginably horrible for anyone who hasn't been in that type of situation before. I'll spare the details. Okay. Alrighty. Well, hopefully none of it was your fault. Hopefully you learned your lesson there. Long story long, exactly. Today I made the last payment on a 2024 Ford Escape that I purchased for my mom a year and a half ago. I handed her the keys. She had no idea. It just says, "We're even," and left. Well, all right. I mean, I get that's better than, telling her to screw you or something like that. So let's see, sometimes you really can make something straight. I have never given her or me that 10 years back. I could never give her uh, or me the 10 years back, right? That doesn't happen no matter what you do. Every time you make a mistake, you can't take that back. You can't. There's no DeLoreans with flux capacitors in them, except on a movie set. But I can take care of her now. She's taken care of me for so long. Be kind to your moms, y'all. Yep, absolutely. You do that. You do that. And you definitely, anybody that's important to you in life, but especially your mom. Um, Mine left me way too early. Aneurysm. So you have to appreciate every second with them. Croaky crash. Which gig drivers normally do the best in total income? Baby step two flare. I don't know on that. It depends on the area you're in. as far as what the richies there and the poors order a lot, and so it just depends. It can be great in some areas, and it can be bad in some areas, and that depends on. So there's not one that's the best everywhere, I'm sure. Third hour on Spotify now. Yes, it's also on the YouTube now as well, since they changed the time to 9 a.m. And that, of course, is not live. It hasn't been live for 4 years, the Ramsey show I'm talking about. And what else was I going to say about that? Oh, the 9 a.m. broadcast on YouTube is at least 19 hours old, being recorded still at the same time of 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. And so it previously, for the last 4 years, except the last month, was at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And so it was on a 2-hour delay, but now it's on a 19-hour delay. And except for Friday to Monday, that's an even longer delay over the weekend, because the Friday show will be on Mondays. And so that means the Thursday show is the YouTube Friday show, and so Dave will be on some Friday shows now, as far as the YouTube. But it's the Friday live that you can hear on the radio or go see it. There is no live video anywhere, except if you take your twin ocular receivers to their studio in Franklin, Tennessee. Luke Torex, all right. Just made my first payment on $72,000 in student loans. 28, been working full-time for a few years now, but between rent, car note, and just surviving, I gotta survive. It always felt impossible to throw real money at it, but something clicked this year. Maybe watching too many debt-free streams. There's no such thing as too many. Maybe just tired of feeling stuck. I'm trying the avalanche method because the interest is wild on one of these. Not a reason to change it. If you are trying to follow the Ramsey advice, it's not ever going to be, the interest doesn't decide anything for you. You buy a house when you can afford it, regardless of what the interest rate is. You do smallest to largest on your debt, regardless of what the interest rate is. And the reason for that on the paying off debt is if you pay off these smaller ones and get more wins faster, you are more likely to stay on the baby steps. Whereas this interest that's wild on one, that might be the person's highest debt and may take years to pay off. And if it takes that long, the average person is going to bounce from the plan. But you're not, so if you're doing avalanche, you're not doing the baby steps. You're doing whatever crap you want to do, which is fine. Knock yourself out. Let's see, I don't even expect it to be done anytime soon, but starting felt like a win itself. Okay, it's better than not paying extra on loans at all. I'll give you that part. Much, but you're doing it wrong. Anyone else feel like tackling student loans makes you age 10 years mentally? No, it's just, I mean, it depends on the person. It's still the same debt, like as a car, something like that. But it's just more money. That's all. Just looking to see how y'all push through the burnout and stay motivated when that number feels like you just keep at it and stop buying stupid stuff. You know, see what else you can cut out of your budget. Don't stop looking at your budget and saying, you know, instead of saying, oh, well, I'm just surviving and I'm only buying 100% necessary things, take a look at your budget. Better yet, take a look at your bank account and see the stores that you've bought stuff in, and realizing the stuff that you bought in those particular stores, was that 100% necessary while you're paying off debt in step 2? It probably wasn't, so check that. And that's my thing for being a financial coach. I don't know necessarily that it wasn't brought up in the class, the financial coach master training from Ramsey Solutions. That's how you get certified. It wasn't in that class, but it's just something that I came up with myself. It's like find something to challenge them on, even if it's something like that they're not gonna do. Like, if I see the budget and I see, one thing, it's like, why do you have this expensive thing on there? That's not necessity. Consider taking that off of there. And when I see the budget the next time it's still on there, then I know that they decided not to do that or forgot about it. So I'll ask them about it to make sure they didn't just forget. And then they can do justification station for me as to why they need whatever it is, but obviously it's not. Or I wouldn't have freaking asked them to think about it in the first place. All right, hello, I'm buying a new house cash. I'm paying for 1/3 of the property and my brother. Nope. Out. That's a quick. That's a gnar from Mr. Ramsey. You doing it wrong. We don't do that. You do not do loans ever. You can do a mortgage for your residence, but guess where we don't get the money from? Family. That's a gnar. You want to mess up your relationship with your family or friends? Do financial stuff with them. Let's see. Brother's giving me a loan from his sale of the house for 2/3. Oh wait, hello, I'm buying a new house cash. No, you're not. If your brother's giving you a loan, it's not cash, it's borrowed money. What a dumbass. Anyway, and I will remortgage and pay him back. Okay. And why are you doing that dumb crap? We are doing this because it's auction property and I don't want a high interest loan. I need to pay him back because he needs to buy something for himself and his family. Sure. My question is, how much emergency fund should I keep? Well, you're not following the Ramsey advice already, so why do you care about that? But the advice that Mr. Ramsey give is 3 to 6 months of expenses, and I'm going up to 6 if you are going to get a mortgage, because guess what happens with houses? It needs stuff. It needs repairs and such. 2, is there anything I haven't factored in? I'm a first-time home buyer. Probably a bunch of stuff. You haven't factored in no loans from brothers, even if it's very temporary, and then you're going to get a mortgage to begin with. How is that? How is the fact it's an auction house and you don't want a high mortgage? Do you have to pay cash for it if you buy it at auction? Let's see. So you said you're gonna remortgage it anyway. So why all the scheming and scamming? It doesn't seem like that's gonna help you. But there may be some kind of thing because it's an auction property. I don't know. I'm a high earner, so I could easily pay off the mortgage in a few years. Then why can't you easily save up to buy a house and let this one go? You don't need this particular one. I used to have a sending issue. I get maybe spending issue before I came across Ramsey, so I haven't saved more than I should have. Haven't saved more than I should have. Okay. Oh, because of the spending problem made it. Yeah, well, that's why you wait now. That cost you time. So that's why you wait now and don't do the dumb crap you're thinking about doing. Do not borrow money, even though you're thinking it's going to be a lickety split thing. He gives you a loan, and you of 2/3 of what it will cost to buy it, and you pay for it in cash, and then you're going to remortgage it for the 2/3 of what it's worth so you can give him that cash. Like basically like a cash out mortgage. So that's going to be an R from Mr. Ramsey, I believe, on that. Baby step 1 and 2 loop from short ad 1337. Hi all, hi guys. I posted this in another thread and got absolutely massacred. Massacred has 2 S's in it, I believe, or 2 C's. One of those. I can't see it in my head at the moment. If I saw both written out, I would know it's wrong, just like I know this is wrong. Okay, and so if you're massacred about something, it's probably because you're doing something dumbass, some dumbass thing you're doing. And if it's a baby step 1 and 2 loop, I guess that's maybe you're getting the $1,000, and then you're starting baby step 2, and then all of a sudden, what is your emergency that causes you to spend $1,000 of the emergency fund? Some dumb crap, probably. Let's see. Massacred. The massacre was over the lack of emergency fund. So I think this is better off here as you guys understand the $1,000 thing more. Okay. Anyway, here's my backstory. Great. Oh, there's more. Let's pull it up. Thanks for everybody that's watching now live or that will in the future. Thank you so very much. Backstory. Spent the last 4 years in a 100% commission-based role. That's ROLE, 60-ish hours a week. Lord loves a working man. And sometimes going months without an actual commission check. Base pay was $1,200 a month, but it's a loan against future commissions. Oh, that doesn't sound very good at all. Brian Adams, $10. Thank you so much, sir. And that is, can you do a super chat? Is one way to donate to me. Thank you so very much, Brian. Thanks for popping in. Where are we? Oh yeah, so I wouldn't like that at all. Of course, I don't like sales anyway. So yes, this is legal. Yeah, I don't think it will be. Yes, I know it was dumb to stay that long. Yep, there's was an adjustment from the salary I had of 60,000 before Pandy. Remember the Pandy kids? I took the job because during COVID they cut our salaries to 45K and it didn't work for me. Joke's on me. Yep. Stop doing dumb stuff. I racked up debt trying to stay afloat until my next big month. That's dumb. That's not how you do that. You don't use debt to survive on. You get a job where you can get the money, or many jobs. However, you have to do it to get the money. Final nail in the coffin for me was unexpected $80,000 mold remediation at my house last year, of which insurance covered $60,000. When all is said and done, I ended up about $60,000 in debt. By the time I left my job for something more stable in February, fast forward to June, I now have a job paying $67,000, 40 hours a week, salaried, okay. Roommate paying me $800 a month, and a part-time job, as I was saying. Good job. Paying me anywhere from $800 to $2,000 a month. Since February, I paid down my debt from $60,000 to $54,450 as of today. March, April, May. So 3.5 months coming up on, close to 3.5 months there, and my buoy has put down $5,500. Is that gazelle on 67? Well, it doesn't. I guess he didn't. He might not have gotten that 67K job until June. So until now. So that's only 2 weeks at it. I'm highly motivated to get back to almost debt-free living as I was pre-pandy, just mortgage and student loans at that time. Yeah, student loans are step 2 debt. So I've known about Dave Ramsey and decided to give his method a try with the baby steps. Okay, well then you're not keeping that step 2 debt. Here's my dilemma. I set up the $1,000 emergency fund and have been paying on average $2,000 a month towards my debt. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. My minimums are $1,200, $800 extra. So $800 extra. Okay, great. If you can do more, do more. For my regular pay, I've set aside $300 a month to budget for routine maintenance and padding the rainy day fund. My problem is it keeps raining. Well, you're not supposed to have any more than $1,000. And so your stuff about it keeps raining, are they really emergencies? Mold remediation? Maybe. What else? Since March, I've racked up $5,000 in unexpected expenses. Big one being HVAC breaking. Did you have more than one HVAC person look at the freaking HVAC? Because people in businesses like that, some of them are not the best people, and they will say you need a new one, even if you do not. Extreme water damage. Sideswiping someone's car and paying them cash. Brakes, tires, battery, and taillights needing to be replaced on my car. Okay, well, brakes, tires, and a battery, and I guess lights sometimes too, they're all going to go out, and yours chose all this same time to go out on you. But, you got to fix your car to get to work, so... if they actually did need to be replaced, that's fine to replace them, and that's what you would do. Now, also potentially my water heater. Great. Hey, you know what? You might want to sell that house. I've been lucky enough to be able to pay all of this with cash and still keep up the average $2,000 in debt pay down. Well, you would be, instead of paying off debt, you would be replenishing the $1,000 emergency fund. If you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong. Oh, but I keep depleting the $1,000 emergency fund and refilling it only to empty it again. Like a few weeks later, yeah, the house seems to be costing you money. I wonder if you can afford that house to begin with. My question is, should I restructure how I'm doing things? Yeah, you should follow Dave Ramsey's advice to a T. Should I take a little break and put some of that secondary income to a larger emergency fund, like maybe $3,000? No, that's not the Ramsey advice. Or should I keep on the path? Yes, and try not to be discouraged by being set back to baby step 1 every once in a while. No, it shouldn't happen every once in a while. Like, eventually, you've replaced all this stuff on your car. Eventually, stuff should stop happening to you. And like I said, the house may be a money pit, though, and it may be too much for you. So it doesn't give the specs on the house or it did say 67,000. So 67,000. I mean, if there's a mortgage on it, we don't know if there's a mortgage on it either. But that bad boy would be what, 134? 134,000 and like another 30. So like maybe like $150,000 should be the maximum mortgage you have. And so, hey, guess what? If you have more than $150,000 mortgage, you're house poor, and that's why you can't get ahead. See, that's like a hiding reason. And it probably doesn't even occur to this person to even think about the house being the problem. Anyway, where were we? My question is, should I... I did that part already. Let's see. No breaks. If you want to follow the Ramsey advice, follow the Ramsey advice. If not, do your own dumb crap. It's fine. I fully support you doing whatever you want to do. You are the one that makes the money and has to live that life that you set up for yourself, doing what you're doing. And again, every once in a while... If it indeed keeps happening that much, then you are either the unluckiest person in the world, or again, you have too much house, or it's just a bad house, or there's other things going on here. If so, if it continues to happen over and over and over and over again. Also, I think I will get a bonus in July, but I'm not counting on it, relying on it after what I went through with my commission job. Right. You don't, any bonuses, anything like that, you don't count on them to do anything. What you would do would be to, hey, a side-by-side ad. Wow, nice. Where was I? Got distracted by Ryan Reynolds and some cowboy. I don't know who's playing the cowboy. Might be him as well. For Mint Mobile, of course, and of course, everybody switch to Mint Mobile or Visible or another discount carrier. No need to pay what you're paying with the big boys. Verizon. Who else? T-Mobile, AT&T. And for goodness sake, do not finance a freaking phone from them. And you may not think it's financing, and they may not call it that, but if you are paying some on it every month, guess what? That's financing it. So yeah, so the commission, when it comes in, you put it to whatever baby step you're on. Let's see. But should it be more? I own a town. What your bonus? Should it be more? Your bonus is what your employee gives you, and they don't have to give you anything. I own a townhome, or are you renting it? I mean, have a mortgage payment on it. And I have a paid off car, great. That I bought new, dumb. That I want to keep in top shape because I don't want to have to finance another car. Well, you don't finance one, you buy a cheap one cash. And so you could sell that new car. Well, it was new in 2021, so maybe that's not a good deal. So, but that's what I would certainly look into, replacing the car with a beater. It couldn't possibly be giving you as many problems as your new one, can it? Don't have any kids or pet. Right now, my breakdown is 300 savings, 2,000 plus debt pay down. Well, that's good. And just starting that, though, that's why the low amount so far, since I think he said February. I'd love to know everyone's thoughts. Pay off the debt. That should be the priority, and not, what was it about the car? I want to keep in top shape. Okay? I mean, everything you mentioned before, the battery, the lights, the tail lights, those are necessary to drive a car. If it's some dumb crap you're putting on it, like striping or other dumb things like that, that would be a no on that. So I feel like for me that this person is skirting some Ramsey principles, and so that's what I would talk to them about. I would find out more information about it and see what's going up on this townhouse that he owns. So if he's not paying a mortgage because he owns it, in that case, where's all your money going? So I'd have to see the budget on this gentleman. All right, and granted, I know some of it went out the door for the emergencies that you said you had, which may or may not be an emergency. You never can tell. Some people think emergencies are, whatever they want to spend money on. And we have a locked thread, ladies and gentlemen, after 53 comments. And for that, it's pay off car loans or keep it in high yield savings, and of course got contentious in there. And so you don't even have to answer this stuff. I mean, but how it goes on the Reddit is you'll get people on both sides, maybe even split right down the middle. Um, Proper abrocoma. Okay, don't know what that is. Pay off the car loan 6.99% or keep it in high yield savings. See, this doesn't even make sense mathematically because in a high yield savings account, you're not getting more than 5%. So you're actually losing money. You can't even win in a mathematical argument. Most times, like if it's most people have the problem of having they think it's a problem having a 3% mortgage and they can get the 5%. So they want to scheme and scam and debt leverage the mortgage in order to have money in high yield savings to make that extra 2%. And that is against the Ramsey advice, just like what you're asking is. And you call yourself on baby step 2. You're the one that picked this. So I got a great idea for you. Why don't you follow the Ramsey advice and quit being dumb? 21K over the next 37 months. See, so how we do it is we pay off debt as fast as possible, even if we're going to keep it. So let's see, 663 monthly payment, or keep money in a 4%. How dumb are you? Or keep money in a 4% high yield savings account. I usually max out Roth. I have about 26K in that high yield savings account. Take that out and put it on the car, you dummy. Look at this. It says 4% right there. Isn't that lower than 6.99%? Yes, it is at 2.99% lower. So you're losing money by doing the dumbass crap that you're doing. But the dumbass crap you're doing is what all the financial bros, etc., would say. But usually they have some sort of mathematical argument, and that's fine. They can do that and run their life just by what a calculator says. But you can't do that because a calculator does not have a risk button on it. So that's where it would come in if, say, it was a 3.2 or 3% mortgage and you were still getting that 4. You would not be doing dumb crap to make less than 1% interest. Or even 2 or even 5%. You do not go by the interest. You pay off the freaking step 2 loan before you have more than $1,000 in savings. It's called the baby steps. If you want to say you're on baby step 2, I got a great idea. Actually follow the baby steps and follow the Ramsey advice and quit being dumb as freaking crap. But also, you said you're in step 2. Oh, it is never mind. I was thinking about the house from the other person. My bad. Senior ad 5435. Baby step 2 in saving for taxes. Baby step 2. So you should have your work holding that out. If it's like from a side hustle that like you're self-employed, that kind of thing, you should hold that out. I never heard about this on the podcast, so thought I guess it doesn't come out that much about the saving for taxes. I'd ask to anyone out there that has read the books, taking FPU, self-employed, S corp, Do I take all the gross income and put towards student loan debt? No, you freaking hold out the amount that you need for taxes. Always. You do not do that and take it, or you don't say, well, okay, for 6 months I'll go ahead and put that to student loan debt, and then in the next 6 months I'll make enough to do that, because that would be the exact time where you wouldn't make that much money, and so you couldn't cover your taxes. So don't do dumb crap. It's great you want to pay off your debt, but that's the wrong way to do it. IRS first, student loan debt second. IRS goes at the top of the baby step 2 list. Or set aside 25% for taxes or whatever You know, if you paid them last year, you can go by the percentage it was. Currently setting aside for taxes and high yield savings account, that's fine. I feel like for me, this falls under the pay tax debt first idea. It does. So, hey, guess what? Maybe you did hear a call like this. Even though it's not yet debt. Right, but it will be as soon as you file. Or, you know, April 15th anyway, because you don't mess with IRS. That's true. But that tax fund is getting pretty juicy, and it'd be nice to apply to some student loans. Yep, and don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. I get it. I appreciate your enthusiasm for wanting the debt gone, but there's no need to trade. You got to make sure you don't trade freaking student loan debt for IRS debt. So got a great idea. Cover the taxes, and then you can put extra money. The extra money you were setting aside to put towards taxes, once you get the taxes covered, then put that extra money towards the student loan debt. Very easy. Very easy. Some people are too close to their own little situation, and they can't think clearly about things. Oh, background lie 163 9163, excuse me. Student loans. All right. Hey, hi guys, here's my situation. 24 years old, about 23K left in student loans right now. Fortunate enough to be able to live at home. You're not living at home, you're living with mommy and daddy, is what it's called. You're 24 years old. Living with mommy and daddy is what it's called. Mr. Ramsey suggests that as an adult, you move out and be a man or a woman and live in the world without being protected by your parents. Rent free for the past few months and will continue to do so for the next few months. Bring in about $4,000 after tax per month. I have 4.5K in checking and 8K in high yield savings account. Okay, so you're doing it wrong. Let's just make sure, you know, I mean, I missed some shows. Maybe Dave changed the baby steps. He did not. Look, it still says save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Now, what step 1 does not say is save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund, plus also have a large buffer in checking, and also have $7,000 in a high yield savings account. It does not say that on there anywhere. We just checked. I want my loans paid off before I move out. Well, then why do you have the money in freaking high yield savings account, you idiot? Well, how can you say you want them paid off and you're not paying it off? You're keeping a high yield savings account with 7K in it extra, other than your $1,000 emergency fund. I paid 2K per month right now on loans. You should put all this to it. Should I dump that 8K? Yes. This is what's called the baby steps. Following the baby steps, they are not hard to understand. And then not have much of a savings anymore for a little while. I have minimal expenses. Yes, you should. Again, you should still be moved out. But, you know, if you insist on staying there, you do need to take advantage of not having as much expenses by getting all that debt done, so you don't have to worry about when you finally accept adulthood and move out. Embarrassed yard. I have minimal expenses. What's the savings for then, dog? What's the buffer in checking and the 8K in the high yield savings account? What's all that about then, dog? Oh, hey, look. Maybe the person will have some added information. Like what the heck they're doing. They do not. They did not add anything. But that's what I would ask them. I would be like, what are you doing? You know, you said right here, I want that's like was saying, okay, saying this, and then the next sentence is opposite of that, opposite of that. My ears, dot, dot. Embarrassed yard, 511. I'm in sales and was talking with a client today. Don't do that. Just sell them stuff. As we were speaking, I was talking about a budget my wife and I are working. Then she began to tell me about her friend's uncle who never has to budget his money. Oh, they buy whatever they want. His cars are so nice and new. They are so rich. These are all the things that came out of her mouth within 60 seconds. Okay, internally I was shocked because I thought exactly like that at one point in my life. Is anyone else relieved they don't buy into that crap? Yes, into those misconceptions anymore. No matter where you are in the baby steps, getting out of debt, growing your wealth, just keep going. Even at baby step 1, you're light years ahead of those money misconceptions. Yeah, I will say though that you would think that there's a good chance because they buy whatever they want and the cars are nice and new, you would think that debt would be involved in that. But they could be step 7 people. We don't know. So, but I think the person was thinking that they're debt people. I see debt people. That's a lady doing a commercial. VIMVIP. Okay, don't know what that is. Kind branch 3311. Is that another kind of what is that? Wegovy or oh, what is that called? I can't remember what the more commonly used one is. I can't remember. Kind branch 3311. 40-year-old baby step millionaire. Congratulations on that. I can't believe I'm writing this because we don't think of ourselves this way. But we recently crossed the billionaire threshold. And that's the best way for you not to realize it's happening and then you see it happen. Because you don't even like think about yourself at that point and you're just like at one point apparently you probably were like, oh, this is the last payment on the house. Oh, cool. And you just kept going on with your life rather than thinking, oh, wait, so that's going to be this much in net worth. And then, that kind of thing. Our first year marriage, we paid off my husband's car and all the student loans. I was debt free before marriage. Okay, get that little dig in at it. Great. Beyond that, it's just been saving and investing. We haven't had a car payment since we initially got married 13 years ago. That is the way to do it. We don't have super fancy cars or a fancy house. That is the way to do it. Our house is only about 1,800 square feet. I drive 2018, 2021 cars. My point is, don't give in to lifestyle creep. Instead, be a weirdo. Why the heck are you in debt? That's another one of those songs. Lifestyle creep. That's in that music playlist. We built our home in a good school district a couple years ago, but we are by far one of the smallest houses on our street. I would wear that with pride. We buy used cars with cash. Excellent. We also love to travel using taking one nice vacation per year, but it's usually just the one vacation. Our 7-year-old son is already set for college with our 529 savings. Keep going, baby steppers. Excellent. Congratulations. Radiohead, that is indeed a great song. And I just thought of it. One day, as usual, driving to work, they played it on the radio. in the morning, and I was like, wait a minute, I can put lifestyle creep instead of I'm a creep. And fun times. Help. Where to start? What would Dave do? Flair. He would do the baby steps. Let's see. Let's dive in here, shall we? What would they do? I'm married. Yeah, married. That's from a movie called 16 Candles. Highly recommend if you have not seen that. John Hughes. But about to go through a divorce. Oh, that's not fun. I was a stay-at-home mom for a few years, but used to work in education. My little one is in daycare, and I'm going back to work in August to start saving to move out. I'm worried because I'm in a state where I have no family or friends. I do have the $1,000 emergency fund complete, but I don't know if Dave would say to do baby step 2 or focus on the 4 walls. 4 walls first, but I mean, that is going to be a small place you rent. Probably. You're not in a situation unless you get a bunch of money in the divorce. If you get a bunch of money in the divorce, then you might be in a position to buy a house. But right now, you're not. I'm starting all the way over, so I have to get an apartment and furnish it with a young child. Okay, you can furnish it with a young child without spending all kinds of money and making the room oh so cute. Did it say son too? Because... Or did it say child? It just says little one. Okay. Did they even say 7 years old? I made up the 7-year-old, I think. Okay. So just a little one. We don't know how old, but you don't want to overspend on decoration. You don't want to do that. You need to get the bare minimums for that. I'm not sure if I'll be taking the electric vehicle or gas car with me. Okay, whatever. Why wouldn't you keep? Oh, I see. Or should I say for a cheap cash car? Yeah, if you get one of those, you can sell that if it'll help your finances a lot. I need a little help with understanding when to pause the baby steps and when to resume. Well, I mean, a divorce, is that an emergency? I mean, you do have to get an apartment at some point. The going crazy furnishing it is not something you have to do. But getting the apartment, yes. Maybe you can get some of the furniture too. Try to do that. But yeah, you should. 4 walls, part of baby step 0. So that comes before baby step 1 even. So yeah, you have to get all that settled. So that's fine with me if you want to declare a state of emergency for the divorce and pause the baby steps. That's fine. Just save up cash until you get all your 4 walls settled, and then once they're settled, then it's time to start baby step 1 and have $1,000 emergency fund, and pay off any debt if you have. Oh, you don't have any debt. I don't think. Does it say that? Hopefully not. Hopefully there's no debt to split up either. Need a little help with understanding when to pause baby step and then when to retire. Yeah, hopefully no debt involved. That she is responsible for and will be given by the terms of the divorce. Financial Airport 886. Continue with baby steps. Always, yes. You're just like the lady here that's getting a divorce. You're still continuing with them. They're just paused right now. And when you unpause, you'll be right back on the same baby step you were on. Don't worry, it won't leave you. I'm trying to decide if we should continue with the baby steps. Why wouldn't you? Or focus on saving more for retirement and less on kid college and mortgage payoff. No. If you're having a problem doing all that at the same time, check your budget. Check your mortgage payment. Make sure it's not over 25% of your take-home pay. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6. But this year the focus was on 4 and 5 since we don't have extra for the mortgage yet. Okay. And that's how it works. If you don't have it, no, we're saving 21% instead of 15 since we got a late start. That's a no. You do not do that because you're old and you were dumb and didn't start saving ahead of time. So, for example, I started way late, probably later than you, and I do 15%. Household income $375,000. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? For background, we just completed a 5-year Chapter 13 late last year, so we have had debt spending issues in the past. I was wondering what the problem was. And do we have too much house? Let's see. Maybe he'll give the house stuff here. Let's see. 260 balance. No, that's fine with a 375K income. All right. 28 with 14 years remaining. Can you just refinance that? Or did you just buy it recently? Monthly burn rate $13,000. Yeah, I'm gonna cut some things out of my budget, sir or madam. This is from Financial Airport 886. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the old budget. Take a look at the no, I mean the mortgage should be fine. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, you can look into refinancing it for a much faster one, maybe a 10 or less, even, however fast you can put it out. Be done with it. Retirement, 600K. S&P 500 index fund, leaving money on the table by not doing it the way the guy that wrote the baby steps, that came up with the baby steps, the way that he says to do it. And the 4 categories manage mutual funds that beat this freaking index. So you're leaving money on the table, and that's more of a problem than you starting late. Is PP employee share program, I think. I sell upon vest and redeploy for Roth IRA. You would not do that. You should back off to 15% and you put your 6% on your house, so you're doing it all, or preload the get the ESA done faster, or 529, I think they said. Where's it say? Where's it say? Did it say 529? Or am I thinking of it earlier? Answer. Oh, it just says, yeah, it just says 4 and 5. So it didn't say exactly what for 5. Yeah, so you're doing it wrong. You're doing it your dumb, crappy way instead of doing what Dave says to do. There's no, I mean, you could do the catch up if that applies. You do it, I mean, the Roth IRA, you should max that out first, including the catch up. You should do that first. And then you make up the difference of the 15% in the 401k, and the 6% you do not do in retirement saving. You're doing it wrong. Also, the fully funded emergency fund is $60,000. 13 times 6. Okay, so that's within the 3 to 6 months. College savings. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's just a high yield savings account. 65K for rising high school junior. Yeah, that's not gonna make enough in that high yield savings account. But junior, you don't have that much time. 2 more years of high school, babe. Debt more. We just did that. That's fine. I wonder how was it a 30 originally? Dumb. Let's see. Other programs like the Money Guys, for example, would say we are way behind on retirement and to focus on saving more and stop college saving or mortgage pay down. Well, let's see. Are you on reddit.com/r dumb money guys? No, you're not. You're on reddit.com/r/Dave freaking Ramsey, aren't you, sir? I'm torn. Nothing's fine. I'm torn because we are very debt averse and would prefer our kids not have student loans. Okay, so guess what? That means you don't take any out for them. Once they're an adult, they can do dumb stuff and take one out if they want to, but you don't participate in that. And would like to pay off the mortgage early. Right. So, but hey, you have learned this lesson because you're running into it now. You cannot do everything all at the same time with the money. You cannot spend what you're spending on this burn rate. And that's what I'm going to tell you to have a look at. See what you can cut out of there. What's dumbass crap that's in that budget, even if it isn't a budget, if you haven't made a budget before. And that's the problem with people that make so much money. They think, oh, it'll be okay. We can get whatever we want. And, and we can have a monthly burn rate of 13K, but what's it on is what I would challenge the person to look at. And I would say, do the Ramsey advice and just do the 15%. Quit being dumb. I know there is an opportunity cost if we continue on that route. So I'm just curious what others would do in your situation. 31 people. Why do you care what somebody on the internet would say as opposed to a 30-year track record financial advisor whose page, well, not his page, but the subreddit has his name on it. So that's what I don't get about. You're not asking this question in the Money Guys freaking forum, if they even have one. Oh, that's it. So, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow we will be having another 8 p.m. Eastern Time because I am working early and so have not been able to do any after shows except Monday. The next one is, I think the next one is Monday as well, and next Friday. Baby step 2, my car is my conundrum. Yep. Maybe it's time thinking about selling it. Too much car. Trying to get out of debt. Best way is sell the car, buy a beater. Could be. Need help finding affordable housing from a 77-year-old grandfather, $1,750 a month, Social Security income. Los Angeles area. Well, that's the real trick, isn't it? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think there's any way. Maybe if you let him move in with you, it would be about it. Nighthawk, DC. Inherited a traditional IRA from my father, looking for advice on best course of action. If you can pay the cash to pay the taxes on the gains, to convert that to a Roth IRA, do that. Otherwise, I guess you can just keep it as a traditional IRA. And a baby steps question, and we'll find out what the question is tomorrow. I don't like the videos automatically playing, but I guess that happens. All right, no, that's a poodle. Or no, that's not a poodle, but that's a dog. Do you think those cars are paid off, or you think they're undead? And we won't find out ever, because that's just a commercial. All right, once again, you're watching this on youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. I am Coach Steve Money. I'm Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And again, Ramsey Show After Show. Answering your financial questions. And I'll tell you very shortly when my streaming schedule is going to happen. It is down there in the ticker, but I'm going to stop it and restart it as I give my plugs. Again, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you, yes, you, having money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney, or you can email me at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com about anything regarding finances, or Ramsey, anything on my YouTube channel, feel free to ask. Donations, paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Cash App, $Coach Steve Money. A super chat like Brian Adams did. It did not cut like a knife. Walmart gift card to same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, now pay attention now. Get out your writing utensils. Ramsey Show After Show, 11:07 a.m. Eastern Time, this Monday, June 16th, and next Friday, June the 20th. Okay, so that's the answer to that. In this stream, answering your financial questions, streams 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday the 13th, that's tomorrow, as well as Saturday the 14th and or Sunday the 15th. And so may not do both Saturday and Sunday, but could. But we'll do definitely at least one of them. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.